This is a big fluff piece. This is all a big, we're scared and we don't know what to do, so we're buying time and we're going to ask the EPA to tell us what to do because we don't know what we're doing. That's what this is. All right, hello and welcome to Raw Architecture. My name is Andrew Hernandez. I'm a California licensed architect, and today we're going to go over an update on the LA Palisades fire and a little bit of the Altadena fire, but specifically the LA County Executive Order number 2 and number 3 are what we're going to review, and kind of some ancillary information regarding those executive orders and what they mean in practicality of your property. All right, switching scenes here. Executive Order number 2, expediting measures to protect water, beaches, and ocean from pollutants coming from the rainy season. Basically, they're talking about all of the properties being burned and the rain coming down and how that wash is going to take some of the debris and put it into the sewer system or storm drain system. And I said sewer system because they're going to divert some of that runoff to the sewer system for some reason. I don't know. That seems like a bad idea to me, but we're going to go through this here. A bunch of fluff on what they're protecting about the water and beaches and coastal things. Okay, wet weather preparedness. Implement temporary erosion control and debris flow mitigation measures within the street and flood control infrastructure of burn areas to keep contaminated materials from entering the storm drain in cooperation with the California Office of Emergency Services, Los Angeles County, and other government organizations. This will include sandbags, straw wattles, and other flow control and filtration systems as needed. This is also known as BMP. It's called Best Management Practices. They're basically going to stake out the corners of your lot. They're going to keep everything that is on the site as much as they possibly can, including big pieces of debris and even smaller pieces of debris with the straw and the sandbags. It basically, they're turning your property into a filtration system so the water runs through, but everything else is contained on site until they're able to start the removal process and debris removal process. All right, remove vegetation, sediment debris, restore the use of low flow and diversion pump stations that capture stormwater and divert it to sewer system during low flow conditions to prevent fire contaminated stormwater from being directly discharged into the ocean. Actions required include acquiring and utilizing portable generators until utility power is restored, assessing the power and communications, and completing any unnecessary repairs. This is going to be a disaster. Number 3, this isn't going to work. This is overly complicated and overly reliant on temporary components. This isn't going to work. We're going to, in 2 months, not even in 2 weeks, we're going to see shit in the ocean. All right, identify opportunities for soil stabilization on private properties and notify homeowners of county, state, and federal guidance, flood, debris, and erosion control. This is a big fluff piece. This is all a big, we're scared and we don't know what to do, so we're buying time and we're going to ask the EPA to tell us what to do because we don't know what we're doing. That's what this is. Debris control measures. Install caps or plugs on sewer house connections from damaged homes to keep contaminants and debris from entering the sewer system. Wait a second, didn't you just say you're going to divert water from the storm drain system to the sewer system? Okay, sure. The debris may collect in the city's sewer system and cause sanitary sewer overflow that could enter nearby catch basins and discharge into the ocean. I mean, they're completely contradicting themselves. As allowable by Los Angeles County Department of Public Health and in coordination with the state agencies, conduct street sweeping, yada yada. Encourage residents not to wash cars and driveways such that runoff leaves their property. These people are so incompetent, man. It's just so infuriating. Let me switch scenes here. On one hand, they're saying they're going to collect all of the debris in the stormwater system, and then they're going to divert that to the sewer system. And then in the next section, they're telling you not to spray anything, do anything, because it's going to put a bunch of debris into the sewer system and then eventually clog the catch basin and then end up in the ocean anyways. So which is it? Did they read this? This is crazy. This is unbelievable, man. What a contradiction in 2 paragraphs. I mean, this is 2 pages. These people don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing, and they're asking the EPA and everybody else under the sun to do their job for them, and because they don't know what they're doing. They're Completely lost. They don't understand the difference between... This is fucking unbelievable. Okay, now what is the basis of Executive Order number 2? I have it right here. I'm going to switch scenes. In order to ensure public health and safety, a health officer has issued a local health emergency order prohibiting cleanup or removal of fire debris at fire damaged and burned properties located in the fire damaged areas until a hazardous material inspection is completed by an approved government agency. Post-fire house debris is hazardous because it contains toxic materials like asbestos, lead, mercury, chemicals from household products, and heavy metals released into the ash and debris when structures burn. Okay, so that's true. That's true. That's a true statement. The facts of that statement are a bit more complex than that and a little bit more in depth. These materials pose risk to health if inhaled or handled improperly. Per the order, properties with damaged or destroyed structures are not allowed hazardous fire debris without county approval. Okay, so let's talk about these hazardous materials real quick. Asbestos. Anybody that's an adult now has heard of mesothelioma. They used to have these commercials on when I was a kid, and it always related to asbestos. Asbestos, it was used as a insulating material in the 1920s to 1970s building structures until the Clean Air Act came along, because a lot of people were becoming very sick and getting lung cancer, and they diagnosed it. It's called mesothelioma. I don't know the reasoning behind the name, but it was primarily from the fibrous material of asbestos, a material used for insulation, and it was used a lot in schools, it was used in houses, it was used in all kinds of buildings as an insulating material. It's very fire resistant and has all of these other qualities that on paper seem to be really good, but when apply it and use it, and when humans have interaction with it, it is so fibrous, those fibers become airborne, it becomes a toxic substance to humans, which is why a lot of people got cancer, and why this Clean Air Act became so prominent in the 1970s. So what they're referring to in asbestos is these houses in the Pacific Palisades area. Pacific Palisades was founded in 1922 by Methodist residents, and from 1922 to around 1978, I mean, they've always been building in the area, but a majority of the Palisades were built between 1922 and 1978. So a lot of the buildings did contain asbestos. However, a lot of that was phased out starting in the 50s, and a lot of homes have been remodeled and redone since then. There aren't that many houses from the 1920s and 30s that will contain asbestos. So what they're talking about are schools, churches, some of the other older historic buildings likely contain asbestos, and those are the ones they're kind of worried about, which have nothing to do with the residents. So let's go here real quick. I found this little excerpt of a study. One health protection agency review stated the public significance of asbestos exposure from large-scale fires concluded that there was no real likelihood of long-term effects resulting from being near fires where asbestos-containing materials were present, as long as efficient cleanup procedures took place. The review said anxiety was likely the biggest health problem amongst the public following such incidents. Anxiety was likely the biggest health problem amongst the public following such incidents. So if we go back to this post, they are so worried about asbestos giving everybody mesothelioma that they are not allowing you guys to clean up until the county approves you to do so, and an approved governing agency tells you it's okay to do so. Ridiculous. Asbestos, it's probably only in a very small percentage of the buildings and even a smaller percentage of the homes. So it has nothing to do with the residents. The residents need to stay on top of, you guys need to stay on top of officials, because they're telling you things that are not accurate. I just explained in the executive order how it contradicted itself basically twice. Okay, these people don't know what they're doing. You need to get professionals, you need to get educated, and you need to stand up for your community, because these people they're incapable of executing this thing properly. Okay, moving on. Toxic material, lead. Lead piping was used back in the day as the delivery system for water. So there might be lead piping in a lot of these houses and a lot of these structures. Okay, fine, it's a lead pipe. Is all of a sudden this lead pipe going to get into the water system? and now we're going to start drinking lead and get lead poisoning. I mean, ridiculous. They just said in the executive order that they're going to divert all of the wash of the stormwater to the sewer system and then to the ocean. So which is it? Are you going to divert all the lead to the ocean, or are you going to divert it to the sewer system that also goes to the ocean? Or are you going to divert it to the sewer system that gets processed and cleaned and filtered and then just ran back into the city? Just ridiculous. Mercury, I mean, mercury from what? Thermostats? Chemicals from household products. Any household product that's sold today is highly, highly regulated. So if just because this household product that's highly regulated gets burned in a fire, it's not all of a sudden going to become hazardous waste where the moment you step onto the lot, you're going to burst into flames and it's going to be like a Chernobyl situation. It's just ridiculous. These people don't know what they're doing. They're not bringing in any active professionals to advise them, and they're just so scared of being responsible for the decisions they're making. They're diverting the decision making to an approved agency and to the county approval. All these people are saying, you do it, you do it, you do it. Tell us what to do. We don't know what we're doing. That's what this is. Okay, did I cover everything? Okay, I think I covered it all for Executive Order 2. I'm gonna get into Executive Order 3.